So, as I said, let us review some of the assignments we have received. This is Naveen. Naveen is here. I would love to, if you can show up, Naveen, because I would be giving you some feedback on it. Is Naveen around?
No, ma'am. Naveen is not there.
Naveen is not there?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we'll do Naveen when he's around. Anirban is here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Anirban. You put on, okay. So it will be wonderful if you can show up, but nevertheless. Okay. So this assignment is pertaining to job grading, right? Can you see Anirban sir? Job grading. Step 1. So when I'm reviewing, this is a recap for everybody. So step 1 will be identifying compensable factors. Anirban, can you tell me which are those compensable factors? Because I can't see that step here.
It was, ma'am, above it was a single Excel sheet. I guess it's not reflecting here.
Okay, that sheet is not here, right?
Ma'am.
Okay, then the next step is after identifying that descriptors and then all that sheet is not there. Okay, now what is this sheet? Okay, if you can explain, then I will be able to tell you.
This was a benchmarking part. I've started.
All right. Great. Okay, so this is only benchmarking part. Okay, yeah. Now you have taken positions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many?
10 positions.
10 positions. I can clearly see your 10 positions ranging from chemist to plant head. Okay. Now, as I explained to you last time, you have also then done the job grading and mapped them or classified them into their respective grades, where I can see you have put them into grade 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s. Okay, fine. All right. Yeah. Now you have looked at your market data per, is this per annum or per month? Okay, you are having per month here. Done. Yeah. Done. Okay, so you have this market data. Then you have to do a scatter graph. So I'm just looking at your scatter graph, which is very good. And I can see that you have done the grade 1. Grade 1 min is 20,000, max is 45,000. Okay, we'll first do that. Now, grade 2, it starts with around 62,000. Okay, now max of grade 1 ends at 45,000. So what you could do is, you could, depending on, I said there are two things, depending on the number of years an average performer is supposed to be staying in grade 1, you can then look at what is the promotion, what is the increment per year. Yeah. Then if it is say for example, the difference is 2,500 and here if the increment is say 1,000 rupees, okay, then you should have a difference of at least, but your hike is 3,500. Okay, can I assume that the hike is actually increment?
Increment, yes, ma'am.
Increment. So yeah, for the sake of just here, we will round it as 3,500. Okay. Yeah. Then if it is, if your average person is stay period is 3 years. So 3,500 into 3, how much is it?
It's 10,500.
Pardon?
10,500.
Yeah. So your difference should be at least 10,500 at least. So here, how much is it?
No, I have kept the turnover as 7 years.
7 years. Okay. Yeah. So fine. So what you could do here is, now you can bring in between grade 1A, 1B, so that you have another what is it, subgrade in your grade, where it can come 45,000 to 62,500. Okay.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because there should be overlap. No, suddenly you have jumped to 62, so there should be an overlap. Okay, so you can make 1A 20,000 to 45,000, 1B 45,000 to 62,500. Okay?
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
second grade 62,500 to 92,000. Okay? Now, so about 6,000 rupees is your hike. All right. Now, 92,000 and you have put here 1 lakh. So, what you could do is extrapolate it to 1 lakh. Means
Yeah.
pull it up to 1 lakh.
Yes,
Done?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then 1 lakh to 1,000, 1 lakh 5,000, 50,000, and 1 lakh 50,000 to 2 lakhs. That's fine, absolutely. All right.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
good job. Very good job done, Anirban. You've really taken a lot of pain. Huh? Good.
I have tried to utilize the real-time data from my organization.
Okay.
It's
Very
not
nice.
just
Very nice.
it is a real-time data.
Yeah, I think you've done a good job. Let us now go to Rahul. Rahul, are you there? Rahul, are you there?
Yes, yes, yes.
Discussing yours. Okay. Now, Rahul, I think, should I assume that again, you also are just showing me that slide where you have just done benchmark.
The grades, yeah, the
Huh?
benchmark
Right?
one, correct.
Okay. So you have taken 10 positions, then you have classified them into 4 grades, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have taken market data per month. Then you have done scatter graph and your job points there. Let me see. And yeah, but for the purpose of assignment, maybe, you could also round it off. So grade 1, 41,000 to 833. So typically what happens even on the ground, when I say on the ground means even in your organization, so you can always round off the data. Okay.
Okay.
Round off the data so that because creating a salary structure doesn't mean that you are actually fixing somebody in that salary, right?
Yeah,
Okay?
right.
Creative, this is only a framework for you. Okay. So
Right.
41 to 45. Now, likewise, you can have grade 1A and 1B because I'll tell you why. Because your grade 2 starts from 62,500. So now max is 45,000. So to fill up that, you'll need another grade there. That is
So in that case, yeah, so in my case, and I think I would have a grade for each and every level. So 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B.
Yeah, you can have because lot of organizations have that.
Yes, right.
Then also, if you want, you can actually extrapolate this up to 62,500. It doesn't matter.
Correct.
Okay, but depending on how your people are moving, that's
right.
also important.
Right.
Okay, on an average.
Right.
Now 1 lakh, yeah, same thing holds good here. 1,25,000 to 175. But again, at a grade 3 level, typically the tenuity will be longer. So
right.
in fact, you can join up, you can extrapolate it that more, because as you keep working in the organization, you must have seen that when you grow from an entry level to higher up and higher up, the higher jobs, the number of years you put in or the tenure becomes more for the fact that
right.
You have to learn, you have to have behavioral competency, so they take a longer time. Correct. And at an entry level, it is just a question of knowledge and skill. So you'll right. see that the promotions at an entry level are far more faster as in compared to as you keep going up the ladder, right?
Right. And this is the only level where we are facing the current attrition, grade 3.
Okay. As I said, Rahul, again, you'll have to go, you'll have to have, I mean, if I were in your shoes, I would look at more data. I will not just see what is obvious, everybody can see it, right? Huh?
Correct.
So diagnosis is very, very easy. So you need to really look more and more deeper into the data. How often are they living? What time? Is there a pattern when they are leaving, right? Huh? There could be many reasons. Are they leaving because of a certain manager, right? They could be not growing in terms of money, is it? Or in terms of real professional growth, is it? So you need to take at least some trend. To get a trend, more data is required for at least 3 to 4 years data.
Correct.
You cannot just
We'll
take,
do that.
1 year data and say, hey, this is it. At least take about 3 to 4 years data and see if there are patterns running through. No?
Yes. Agreed.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Rahul.
ma'am.
Okay, lovely. Now let me see the another. Joydeep. I hope Joydeep is here. Can Joydeep show up? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes, I can.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. But you are visible till now, but now you don't want to show up. Okay. Okay, Joydeep, your slide is showing me the grades and of course just the numbers of the positions. That means there are 3 positions in grade 1 position in grade 2 you took 3, 4, 5, 6 positions. You took 6 positions, right? Joydeep?
But here it is not written.
Yeah.
It's not shown.
It's
not properly shown. Yeah.
Okay, and then you've done a scatter graph. And where is your, I'm not able to see your min and max, those salary ranges.
No, sir.
Actually, ma'am, the part of our Excel are not properly visible in this slideshow, I guess. We have sent the whole of Excel, but only portion of being taken as screenshot, I guess.
All right, I will have a look at it and then maybe I can just send them up in a WhatsApp.
I've seen. I have not seen details.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's it. All right, Anish, yours is missing.
Yeah, actually, I was not able to do it.
Lot of work, I'm sure.
Yeah, we got tied up now. So sorry for that, but I will do it.
No problem. See, it's important because what happens when you do, then you are able to find out if there are anything, missing, right?
True. I will do it. I will send and we can have a chat on that separately.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Guys, yes. So if you recall, in the last session, we started doing job evaluation, which is really very, very critical. And I think it's at the heart of this entire program. And I'm sure all of you will recognize the fact that job evaluation is important to to actually get at understanding or estimating the worth of the job. So we did two kinds of job evaluation. One is the paired comparison method, right? And what was the other? Job grading. And both of them were qualitative methods. And then we started off talking about a point plan method. And we said point plan method is a quantification method. Means every job will be assigned a certain number. Okay. Now, and we also said the point plan process. What is the process? The process begins with, anybody remembers? It begins with identifying
factors
and defining compensable factors for which we actually pay. In organization, if you see that we pay because a certain person has a higher degree, higher education required for that role, higher experience required for that role, higher responsibilities there for that role. So we need to define compensable factors. Then we said these compensable factors then will be differentiated into levels or into degrees, which some of you have also done in a assignment. And then we talked about weightages, and then we talked about how do we evaluate. Let me straight jump into actually an example so that you are able to understand the entire process, which you also need to do. Okay, now make it a little. Now, can you see, guys? Can you see clearly? The purpose is to show you. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, now You may say, hey, but this is almost like job grading. Yes. Job grading and point plan method are similar when it comes to the step 1, identifying compensable factors. So when you started job grading, you identified compensable factors, right? So all of you did that.
Yes, ma'am.
And in job grading, I also told you this is that you can have at best 5 to 6 compensable factors, right? In job grading, you can have at best 5 to 6 at best 5 to 6 compensable factors. But in point plan, you can even have 10 compensable factors. Okay? Why? If you notice, when you were doing job grading, you had to vertically look at all the descriptors of the compensable factors and say, is he grade 1, is he grade 2, is he grade 3? Now in job grading, you can have 10 grades, 15 grades, even 20 grades. Now in point plan, you can have 10 compensable factors, sometimes even 12 compensable factors, okay? But the degrees, so this is step 1. Now degrees, or I showed you last time, degree of differentiation means what? I read out knowledge. How do they vary? I said that when I talked about degree, it is the intensity of that compensable factor which is required in that role. Okay, so when you're doing degrees, at best make them about 4 to 6. Don't go beyond, depending again by the complexity of the organization. Okay, if an organization is very simple, it could have just 3 to 4 or maybe at best 6, but not more than that, right? That is step 2. Step 3, I also told you that not all the compensable factors will be of the same priority. So that means you have to weigh them, which is the highest and which is the lowest. So you have to assign weightages. Third point. Then fourth, just like job grading, then you have to write descriptors. But here, one thing we have to be very, very mindful about is that when I write a descriptor here, for these degrees or levels, I have to ensure that there is no overlap of the descriptor between degree 1 and degree 2. Why? Because I'm assigning points. You have to be very, very careful. Ensure that there is no overlapping. Now, once you have done that, then you have to do the populating of the point plan. Like I told you, how do you populate? I explained to you. Let me see if anybody remembers. How do you then populate the plan? I showed you very clearly and all of you understood. How do you do that? Now this is a 400 point plan. So how do you do the populating of plan? Point plan? You have to simply multiply this weightage 20. This is a linear model. So 20 into 1, 20, 20 into 2, 40, 20 into 3, 60 and 80. That means at degree 1, education is 20. At degree 2, the education is 40. At degree 3, education is 60. And at degree 4, the education is 80. Now again work X 20, 40 because weightage is 20. Then knowledge 25, 50, 75, 100. Then then leadership and supervisory. So it is 35, 70, 105 and 140. Now when you do vertically also 100, 200, 300, 400. Has everybody understood? Thumbs up, please. Please give me a reaction so that step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. All steps very clear? Great. Naveen? I don't have your thumbs up here.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
No problem. But if everybody is clear, Anish, are you clear?
Yeah, very much.
Okay. Then what is the next step we need to do? We have to evaluate the job and then calculate the points. So how will we do that? Typically, when we are going to evaluate the points, take the job description. This is for another case study which I did. Say, for example, HR team lead. I have to assign points. So what will I do? I will say, hey, HR team lead, as per the job description, the degree of education it requires is graduation. So what will I add? How many points will I add? What is a degree? 2. Graduation is where? At a degree 2. So the points are 40.
40.
Then work experience, it's a work experience. Say, for example, I were to say that it needs, say, for example, if I'll say it needs 2 to 4 years for a HR team lead. How many points will I write?
40.
40, right?
Yes, sir.
And say at a knowledge level, if I say again here at a knowledge level, it needs understanding of processes, etc. How many points will I give?
50.
50. And then leadership and supervisory, managing everyday's work, executing everything. So how many points will I give then?
70.
How many?
70, ma'am.
70. So how much will it come to? 0, 0, 0. 7 plus 5, 30.
200.
How much?
200.
200.
200?
Yeah.
Yes. So, but here in this, the job description we were looking at, they were looking at the work experience, they were looking at a postgraduate. Say, for example, a postgraduate or a work experience of 4 to 6 years. Then what will happen? Your points will differ, right?
Yeah.
Let us take another one. Technical manager. Say, for example, a technical manager, the degree at which the education is required is a post-graduation. So how many points?
60.
How many points?
60.
60,
60.
na? Then work experience, a technical manager, maybe I will look at 4 to 6 years. So 60,
60, yeah.
right? Then knowledge, he will need, a little more than, he will need a degree 3, right? Not just sufficient with understanding processes, but also doing some kind of innovation, etc. So how many? 75 points. Then if he has to do leadership and supervise, manage everything, performance management, etc. So let us add up 5, 5, 5, 0, 1.
300.
How much? 300. So do you know how to now calculate points, guys? Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, having said that, then the same thing again, you have to get the market data per month for these jobs. So if you see that there is market data also here, so let us just go by these points. Now you know that first step. Now you have to be very, very careful and please listen. These are the, say for example, these are the positions I've taken from a case study. Then this actual real work done. So these are the points assigned based on the job description. Okay. And this is the market salary. Done. Now what are we doing? Point. What are we doing? Please, because this is very, what are we doing? What evaluation are we doing? Point plan job evaluation. So when you're doing point plan job evaluation, now you have to look at 2 values. What are they? You have to calculate slope. I'll write here. You have to calculate slope and then intercept. I'll tell you what they are, but first just calculate like this. Okay. You have to calculate slope and intercept. Now, when you are doing point plan, your points are always X. Please write that as X. X is a independent variable. Your market salary is always Y. So keep it to the right side of your hand. So Y. Okay. Now, when you calculate slope value, all that you need to do is please go to, yeah, it's already there. Formula, insert function, go to slope, okay, known wise. So I have to drag known wise. Okay. Then known axis.
Point values.
Then, okay. Have you got it? So I can always round it off like 391 or so. Now intercept.
So what does 390 indicate, ma'am? In that?
That is your slope value. That I told you that when you are doing your what is it, point plan method, now what are you doing? First, you are now assigning points, then market data, just like your job grading. Now what are we doing? Calculating two values, slope and intercept. What are we going to do? We are going to do regression. That's what I want to tell you now. So you calculated slope. Now I'm calculating intercept. Okay. Again, known wise. Then known axis. Okay. Then, okay. So the intercept is normally a minus sign. Now, don't ask me what is slope and intercept. These are two statistical terms for now to just understand for regression, because after you do it, then I will show you physically what is slope and what is intercept. But now, please just understand that you have to calculate from your statistics two values called slope and intercept for doing a regression. Okay. Now you have calculated here. What have you calculated? Slope value, intercept value. Now, what are you trying to do? Through regression, you are calculating if this is the market salary per month, what should I be paying in my organization? Got it? It will predict what you should be paying, which is called a pay line salary. Now, let me also do it for you statistically. So what will you do first? Again, just okay. Now, I hope everybody is able to insert, then do this, then do this. Okay. So what did I do? Okay. Add trend line. Then last time you added only trend line. Now I'm saying display equation chart, display R square value. Okay. Now can you see? I will make it a little bigger. Now this value, if anybody wants to write 390.
Slope minus intercept.
This is your slope value.
Slope, yeah.
Okay. And this is your intercept value. Okay. This is called the pay line. That means any point on this, any job which falls on this line will have the salary corresponding to that. Okay. So when I say R square, it is called the coefficient of determination, which is called regression. So 0.95, 95%. That means it's a very good R-square regression. That means 95% of the dependency of the market salary is on the points. Okay, what all did I say? Now, when you're calculating the, I will just move this for some time. Let me reduce this. So, to calculate this straight line, the formula is what? Y. Y means the pay line salary is equal to slope multiplied by point value plus intercept. This is the formula. Okay, what is it? The formula? Slope multiplied by the point value plus intercept. Now, if you look at, if I'm calculating the position HR team lead salary, you will see that what is the formula I've written here? You have to multiply the, where is it? B16. B16, that is the point value, multiplied by slope, because here intercept is minus intercept. Got it, guys? And that is the value, 31,000. So when you do this regression, it will throw up the salaries which internally, which are actually internal. It establishes internal equity. Got it? It establishes internal equity. Now, what I want you all to do is, if you have your, whoever did that last time, okay, Excel sheet. Now, the entire group, I want you to work as one group in the same, we don't have to go to any breakout room, okay? Now, what I want you to create is this point plan. I will be there to help you. Create a point plan. Then, for the same positions you have worked, just 10 positions, you have already got market data also. Keep the market data. Okay. Then I will help you how to calculate salary or pay line salary. All right. So guys, get cracking. Any questions before you start? What you need to do, I will stop sharing. One of you put up the Excel sheet and whatever we, so that there is, you know, you can do it faster. We will use up some amount of work you have done in job grading. All right. And then I will help you to do the point plan. Okay. Who is going to be the MC or who's going to take the lead? May I know? Who's going to take the lead? Anybody who's good at Excel, because I will be there to help you, not to worry. Anish, you want to take the lead, or anybody? Rahul, you want to take the lead? And let me tell you one advantage. Whoever takes the lead will understand more because that person will be doing. Okay. So who's going to take the lead? I'm stopping the share. Yes. Who's going to take the, let me see, somebody's written some chat. Okay. Yeah. So can you put it up? Can you start working on the Excel sheet? Put the Excel sheet, then I'm here to handhold you. That's how you will learn this point plan method. I don't see anybody. At least I should know who is the person who's going to do this. Rahul or Naveen or Rituparan or Anirban or Anish.
I'll do that, ma'am.
Naveen?
Yes, ma'am.
Put the Excel sheet.
Ma'am, where in the email is it there, ma'am? The Excel one?
Last time you all did that group work, right? Job
Yes,
grading.
yes.
So anybody who has that job grading work?
Yeah, yeah.
Or Rahul, do you want to do it? Or Naveen can also do it, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with anything, ma'am, because
Yeah.
no one is going to fit out.
Yeah, job. So please put up the job grading work you all did last time.
Okay. I'm just opening it.
Okay. Okay. Now, can you show me that other first sheet template? All right. All right. Now, what we will take only, is everybody there and everybody can see? Make it a little bigger, Naveen, so that, it helps me. Okay. Little more bigger. Great. Great. Step 1, point plan method. Identify compensable factors. You can write there under the D column now, step 1, so that right there, step 1. Okay. Now, compensable factors, you have done education, experience, skill, and responsibility. Done. Okay. Now, delete the core rules, everything. Delete core rules totally. Done. Okay. Now, delete grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. Now, have the other things. Only grade 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
What I said was keep that, just delete only these grades,
Okay.
because we are not going to use grades. Just delete. No.
Oh, you are
Naveen,
telling, sorry,
Naveen.
the column you are telling.
Yeah, grade 1 column.
Naveen, you keep other thing,
That's
only
it.
remove grade 1, grade 2, grade
That's
3.
it. That's it. Great. Now, step 2 is what? You have to define your levels.
Degree of
Degrees
differentiation.
differentiation. So
Yeah.
here we are going to write there step 2, degrees of differentiation, because tomorrow when you want to do it, read it or whatever, write there step 2, degrees of differentiation. Degrees of differentiation. Okay. DIFF. Yeah, great. Different, REN, CIATION. Okay. Now you write under F below that step 2. Okay. Level 1.
Okay.
Under G, level 2. Under H, level 3. And under I, level 4. Okay. Now education, let me see, basic, doctorate, okay, PhD, MPhil. Now level 3 and level 4 are having similar. So as I told you that here, okay, we'll get into description. We will get into descriptions a little later. Step 3, weightages.
Yeah.
Not there, right under E. Okay. Now, as a group, for that, for those positions which we are going to do, just think about the weightages. It don't have to be very, very accurate. At least just think. Now, among the group, discuss and say, for education, what weightage you want to give, for experience, what weightage you want to give, for skill, what weightage you want to give, and for responsibility, what weightage you want to give. Just discuss amongst yourself.
Yeah, education, I think we can go for 25 to 30%. 30%.
Okay, if everybody agrees, please go ahead.
Okay. 25, I'll get 30.
Yeah, 30.
Okay, 30. Experience.
Slightly higher.
Say about 25. You want to give 25?
40%. Yeah.
You want to give 40?
Yeah.
Is your organization such that you are going to take mostly experienced people? Huh? It's a manufacturing. So make it about 30 or 25. 25, then 30. Okay. Skill, how much? Okay. So the rest will be responsibility.
Yeah.
30, 30, 60, 60 plus 70, 85.
25 responsibility. 25.
25.
Are you sure it's
No,
100?
15.
No.
No. So now
15
reduce
only.
responsibility. You make it as 30 and reduce
Skill.
Reduce experience. Skill ko 25. I think skill can become 25. Then experience
Even education can be.
Education can become 25. Experience can become 20. So how much will it come up to now?
9.
No, 5, yes, 20. If experience is 20.
Now 30, 40,
correct.
50. Is it
100,
okay? 30, 40,
100,
50, 60. Yeah.
100.
Yeah.
100. Yeah.
Okay, okay, 100. Because your weightage, when you calculate, it should be totaling to 100. Even if you have 10 factors, it should be equal to, again, 100 only.
100.
Now let us look at the descriptors. Basic, post-graduation. So here, post-graduation, level 3, write post-graduation with certifications, functional certifications. Okay, done. 0 to 2, 3 to 6, 6 to 10. Okay. Entry level, supervisory, managerial leadership, low, medium, high, significant. Okay. Now please make your blocks bigger because we have to do the what is it, point plan, no? Populate the plans. Make it little broader because 25 into 1, 25. You have to put that point in education. No. Increase the width. Not the width, the depth of your.
Okay, this one. Okay.
Got it. Yeah. Great. Okay. Now 25 into 1. So write
25.
Write it in that F column. 25 into 1, level 1, basic graduation. Now there you have to put your 25.
Here below or here, ma'am? This is correct?
Not there, ma. Not
Yeah.
there.
Here, basic graduation.
Where you have written degree of differentiation education level 1.
Okay.
Not
Here.
in that. Not in that. Basic graduation. There you have to write 25.
Okay, sorry.
And keep that basic graduation. Correct. But do that 25, you can bring it down below the basic graduation. Great. Now level 2 will become 50. Now I will leave 3 and 4 for you to fill in.
Yeah.
75
500
and 100. 75 and 100.
Yeah. 100.
Now the next also please fill in.
20, 40, 60, 100. 20, 40, 60 and 80.
This should be 20,
Yeah.
correct?
Correct. Yeah, weightage into level.
This is 80, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Next one.
Same scoring as education. 25, 50, 75, 100.
Yeah.
Very good.
75.
30, 60, 90, 120.
30, 60, 90, and 20. Correct.
Very good. Now add up. They should be 100, 200, 300, 400.
100, 200, 300, 400.
Just check if they're all correct. Your 200.
Yes, ma'am.
They should be.
Yeah, 200.
150 and 150, 150 and 300. Then 200 and 300, 400.
Great. Very good. Now weightage will be a step 3 here because when you go back again, you have to do, right? So step 1 is written there nicely. Step 2 you have written. Then step 3 will be a weightage.
Step 3. Write step 3 before the weightage line.
E column. That
E,
is your
yeah.
step 3. E column.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before weightage. Step 3, then weightage.
Right? Step 3 and then weightage can come down. Or like degree of differentiation. That's good. Yeah. Then step 4 is what? You tell me.
Populating
Populating the points.
Yeah.
So you can write below, like below, you can write below responsibility, below your LO. Step 4, populating your points. That is called populating, POPU, populating the points plan. This is your template. Step 5 is
Step 5 analysis.
assigning points. Now you will assign points, right? To jobs. So that you are very clear when you go back. Assigning points to whom? To the jobs.
The jobs.
Now scroll down, you have that sheet, no? Where you did all the positions.
This one, ma'am.
This one. Now delete your, so bring those positions in the sheet 1. Okay. Now you have to, because I'm not going to, I've created the template for you. You have the job descriptions, all of you as a group. Now look at the job description and assign or apportion your points. For example, you got it, no? Just scroll down. HR executive, for education, how much I need to give, at what level, for what is skill, how much, for experience, how much, and then put those total points. So put that. Where you wrote position, can you scroll down? Where you wrote position, in that same under E column, write total points. Total points. And then give a dash and write X.
X point value, that is a point value.
Or you can also write point value X. Now I'm going to be there, but I'm going to, you have to now calculate the points and then write there. Look at the job description. Don't look at out of nothing. No. Look at your job description quickly. Factory HR. And assign those points for education, experience, skill, responsibility. You have to look through the job description. I will say like this. You are 7 people. Take 2 positions in your small white paper. Write them down and then you can do it. Ideally, if you want to learn, this is, I would have said, write all the compensable factors, give, but you can do it on a piece of paper and then put the total points here. That becomes easier. Six people, assign two positions, calculate the point value and put it here.
Factory HR executive would be 100 just to get correction.
Why? Because all the things are you're telling this criteria.
Yeah, 100 is okay for factory HR executive.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's write there 100, then we'll see.
Okay, can I say one thing?
Manager.
Yes, I agree that all of them will fall here in the level 1. But the beauty of a point plan is it is not necessary that you have to apportion everything the same. Depending on the intensity of that particular compensable factor required by the job description, which will be written in the job description, you have to assign points. Okay. So you have a choice here.
Okay, in that case, then we can revise this point to 125, taking basic graduation 0 to 2 years, supervisory level, and
just to learn. Somebody said that, right? So for a factory HR executive, you can say he requires post graduation. That means you are assigning 50 points.
50,
then the experience, skill, responsibility will be 20, 25, 30. Now add up 50 plus 20, 70, 70 plus 20, right?
125.
Good, good. So you understood how it is to be done, right? Yeah, good.
Yeah, for the manager.
So here you may be just looking at it and doing.
For the
But
manager,
actually,
yes, ma'am.
people will look at the job description and do it. So
For the
just have
manager,
a glance at the job description also.
yeah. For the manager, we can take post graduation 6 to 10 years, then 75, 90, 50, 60, 75, 90.
I'm going to switch off my video, otherwise what will happen, you will
110, 185, and 90, 75,
110, 200, 275.
275, yeah, correct. Administrator. I think that was the IT administrator, no? Administrator thing.
Yeah.
I would recommend to put those 4 like you all put no earlier. What is that? 50 plus 20 plus 25 plus 30. Then you will understand when you go back, how did you arrive at this number?
Okay.
Because here you will remember, but after that you might forget.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That's 75, right?
75, then 90, yeah. 75, 90. The first one is 50, 20, 25, 30. 25, 30.
25 and 30. Okay.
Yeah. Administrator.
I'm very happy Naveen took the lead.
Administrator basically is a supervisory type of level. Then we can go for basic graduation.
25.
Then 40, 50, 60. Anyone can correct me if I am wrong. Forty, 50, 60. Project lead. Go for 200, 50, 40, 50, 60. No, you can go for project leads, you can go for higher experience.
75, we can go 75, 40, 60.
Go for 300 then, yeah.
All the components of 300, or you want to?
No, all the components of 300.
300, okay. 75, 60.
75, 60, 75, 90.
Project lead can't be more than can't carry points more than a manager. It is in the between executive to manager.
Okay. Then you can minus 25, then instead of 75, you can add up 50. It will be similar, I guess, similar marks.
In IT, anybody with around 6 to 8 years experience can become a project lead.
Wait, so 60 is correct. This one 75, we have to keep it 50, or how is it? Responsibility medium or high? Because project lead.
Medium.
It changed to 60, yeah. Instead of 90, 60.
Okay.
Project engineer.
Yeah, engineer should be at par with executive. Junior most position.
First one.
Yeah, it's a kind of a junior most position in IT.
You can just copy the 125 scoring part.
Yeah, so I think 100, 125 should be good to go. Similarly. Yeah.
Next one is
Quality head.
head. The third level, I guess. Third level will be good, Rahul. Go for the third level then.
Okay. Service delivery lead. Either third or fourth, I mean, can the combination. 75-60 leadership plus 90 I can give.
Yeah, 75-60 is 7. What are the remaining designations left?
Project manager, general manager.
So project manager has to be a maximum more than 245, more than the project lead. Let's finalize the project manager first. Then we'll go for GM and SDL. Project manager.
But what about is for SDL?
We'll do it later. Then after this two, the project manager has to be more than 245.
75-60, 75-120 we can give, or leadership, I don't know. 75-60, 100, 90.
Yeah, 75-60, 155, then 100 to 255, and then high 90. 75-60, 190. 190. Yeah.
Okay. General manager 400.
Yeah, general manager 400.
180, 100, 120.
So the SDL.
Okay, now left with SDL.
75-60, 190. Or 75-60, 100, 120.
I will just see.
100, 120.
So it will be more than project manager. Is that fine?
Not sure about this position.
I think we can swipe between SDL and the project manager.
90. Okay.
You have a personal manager job description there. Done, guys?
The scoring almost done. What Rahul was suggesting?
I was saying that we would have swiped between a project manager and an SDL. So
yeah,
project manager being 325 and project manager being 355 and SDL being 325.
Yeah, okay. Yes, ma'am, we are done, ma'am.
Done?
Sorry, actually, I just missed out in between. My internet connection was a bit dicey.
So this Rahul, is it?
Yeah, ma'am.
So the best way to learn is, I also will get an idea as to other team members have learned or not. So who will explain this, what you have done to Rahul? Quick, huh? Can somebody explain? Okay, scroll down. Step 1, Rahul. Just scroll down. Yeah, step 1. No, where are we? Step 1 is identifying compensable factors. So you can see here, as this chart shows, education, experience, skill, and responsibility. Step 2 is then you are defining the degrees of differentiation, or what we call it as levels. So step 2, that is. So here we have said we are going to take 4 levels: level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. So with the increase of level, the intensity of that particular compensable factor will increase. So education, we have written the descriptors just like job grading, okay, but ensuring that there is no overlap. Then step 3, then weightages, giving weightages. Weightages is given on the basis of priority. So here 25, 20, 25, 30. So they should be equal to 100. Even if you have 8, even if you have 10, they should be equal to 100. Then step 4, populating the points. That means you have to now create your point plan. So 25 into level 1, 25 into level 2. So likewise, you can see that we have filled up the table. If you have any doubts, let me know. Otherwise, you can see that, we have filled up all the points for
Yes,
level
got
1,
it, got it.
level 2,
Understood,
level 3,
understood,
level 4. Okay.
understood.
Then now next step 5 is doing job evaluation and assigning points to the job.
Jobs,
So
right.
you'll have to scroll down somebody. Naveen, yeah, we have taken 10 positions and here are a list of positions, and then evaluated the job and ensured that we are assigning the points for those 4 compensable factors. How do you do that? Based on the job description, based on the intensity of that compensable factor, you have to find it. Is it at level 1 or at level 2 or level 3, and then look at the point, whatever is there, and then assign it. So that's how all the 4 compensable factors with their degrees, you are assigning the points and then adding up. So you have the total point value for the 10 positions. Is this clear now, Rahul?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Okay. Now,
Thank
the
you.
fact that you are looking at these points will know that they are in a hierarchy. The position with the higher points has to be paid higher, and the position with the lower has to be paid lower. Now, when we are doing a point plan, we are doing what we call it as regression method. Regression means we are using a statistical regression method which helps you to predict what is the salary to be paid. So if you recall, I said when you're doing job evaluation, to predict the salary, we use a data, benchmark data, or when we say benchmark data, we are saying market data. Got it? So now you can bring that same data what we use for job grading here. Got it? Huh?
Ma'am, I have a small question.
Yes, Navin.
Yeah.
Or
So,
this, Virendra, tell me.
So in case of compensation factor, I understand that, whenever we try to put across a compensable factor, for the positions for which we are doing job evaluation, so the compensation factor should be same across all the positions, right?
Now here, when you're doing compensable factors, you cannot have different compensable factors for different positions. Okay?
Correct.
But in organizations, when organizations are very complex, you can have for non-supervisory role where the job is not much of just, 3 compensable factors because their levels also will be very low. So that you can keep it aside. Then in IT, what do? They will have for technical stream, then for managerial stream. When the jobs are when the organization is very complex, then they will break it up into at least 1 or 2. You don't want to, if it is both an IT and an ITS, and you are having same entire lot of compensable factors. Look at the work. An ITS, will have, BPO will have different kind of compensable factors. A product development company will have different type of compensable factors. So it's best to keep ITS separate and the IT product development separate, right?
Correct. That is what exact I wanted to understand, because there might be some positions which are very critical. Let's say, a role of a PMO, which requires a lot of cross-functional stakeholder management. So that becomes a very unique compensable factor, which may not be applicable in other positions.
Some of the positions which are very, very critical, one of its kind, like a CXO, CEOs, etc., you'll keep them aside. They're like, okay, one of its kind, you'll only go by what is the market, paying, and you will like to pay a 5% or 10% more. Okay.
No, so we don't really need to go to a very top level in order to, keep positions aside. So there would be very basic at a junior level also, like, PMO would be at a level of probably a managerial level.
Right.
Or somebody in IT with having very unique skill sets can become a critical position, or anybody, let's say for an example, in production department with some unique skills can become a critical position. So in such cases, how do we handle the job evaluation?
So therefore, if you are talking about critical positions, but when you are determining compensable factors, what happens? Even those 5 or 6 compensable factors will have to factor in some of these things, so that your weightage or degree of differentiation where it comes, there that factor's point will be very high for them.
Got it.
Okay, so you cannot have this position is critical. It will have, then how many things you will do.
That
right?
is what I want to understand.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I will actually recommend all of you to go and use this in your organization. This is something which is of high value to you, this learning. Okay. All right. Now, please paste that market data here.
Next class.
This one, huh?
Salary per month.
Values. Yeah, that value only.
Yeah.
Now, if you want, you can also leave general manager's data. You can leave one position, you can leave.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. And now you put this as Y.
Why?
In regression, you will have two variables. I explained to you last time.
Yeah.
X and Y, independent variable and dependent variable.
Why? Market
Independent is your X and dependent is your Y. Now, why did I say leave one? Now, in organization, whenever you are doing, what is it? You are trying to find benchmark data. Maybe your organization has 5% of the jobs or 2% of the jobs which are unique, and you will not find market data anywhere. Now, consultants like Mercer and KPMG or PwC, how do they do it? Maybe 10% of your jobs are very unique only to your industry or only to your organization. I'm not able to find comparable positions in the market to get data. So, what they do is they will use regression. I will teach you now how they will do, and then use that slope and intercept value to calculate what is called what you have to pay to the general manager. Got it? So now what are you going to do? You have X and Y. You are going to now, first of all, statistically through a chart, find out your pay line. So what will you do? Please select the X and Y.
X, yeah.
Only till there. Then now insert. Then go to chart.
Right, ma'am.
Yeah.
Click. Now pull it aside so that now we'll need more little space. So adjust your space and dollar. Click on any of those job positions which are called blue, and then right click. Right? Did you right click? Then add trend line, not data label. Add trend line. Now scroll down. Now click on display equation on chart. Display R square. Bus. Now close the format trend line. Now you have a so this gives you a slope where your slope is 160.24 and your intercept is 7693 and your regression is 0.72%. Okay, we'll go by that. Now I'll teach you one more method. Okay, keep that aside. Now what you can do, select, click, what is it? You can also click on that chart, click on that. No. On that space. Okay. Click there. Now go to this. Can you see file and home? Can you see file, home, left side? Can you see file? Home? Okay. Go to home. Yeah, you can see quick layout. No. You already clicked home. So again, undo. Click on that.
Home, okay.
Undo home. Under home, there was one quick layout.
Go to page layout. I think you might able to see.
No.
Okay, sorry.
Undo that, not page layout. Undo home. Don't highlight home. You come out of home.
Select the chart.
Okay.
Undo it now. Now wait. No, don't go to page layout. No, don't even go to insert.
No.
I just want to show you one more thing. Don't click home, but there was something like under the home, quick layout. Go to file, otherwise just go to file.
Yeah.
No. Go back. Go to home then. Wait. Right now you have clicked on home. No, if you have to undo that home, you have to come out of that home. Can you do that? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you mean to
Okay,
I need
okay,
to
forget. First, we
No,
will
no, no.
start calculating. It's okay. It will come now. Just okay. You keep the chart aside. Make it little bigger. Now we will do calculating slope and intercept. Okay. You have to know two methods. Okay. Now you have selected it. Now come out of it. Come out of the selected data. Okay, done. Now calculate slope and intercept values. You have to go to formula.
Yeah.
Not page layout, formula.
okay.
Yeah,
I can
about that
see,
only. Yeah.
go there. Now you can see slope. If you write slope, it will come. And then go.
Okay.
Okay. Now known wise, click and drag known wise.
Why 25 to 50?
Okay.
Okay. Now known excess. Only till that 50,000. 1 second. That's it. Now what is the value?
160.
Is it tallying with that value you got?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Huh?
ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Great. Okay. Write slope. Otherwise, you will think it is something.
Yeah.
Now calculate intercept. Can you do it on your own now?
Yes, ma'am. Formula. Intercept. Yeah.
Okay. Known wise.
Till 75.
Why?
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 25
Plus.
to 50,000, correct.
Now X.
125.
Great. Good job. Is it tallying with that?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Great. Okay. This is intercept value. Now that line which you can see, that is called your pay line. Means that is what you are paying for every position. Now there's a formula to it. That for that straight line formula is, which is called pay Y, or Y is the salary, pay line salary. Right there, formula of Y is equal to
Y equal to slope into point value.
Y is equal to now point value multiplied by slope plus intercept. Point value.
Point value is this one, huh?
So there are different positions. No, point value will have different values for every position. So right there, point value multiplied by slope.
Like X. Symbolizing here.
Low.
Or you can give that, what is that?
Star.
Dollar sign.
Star.
Star sign. Plus intercept. Got it? Now if you want to calculate under G column, what is that you need to pay for factory HR executive? You can put that there. I would ideally say when you are doing that, no, point value will be your, no. If you want, you can use a, this will be B, wait, E, 1 second, let me see, E15, is it?
E15, yeah, E15.
Is it E15 or E16?
E15.
E15, then hardwire it, put a dollar sign, that is not dollar sign, that star sign, star, and brackets.
Yeah, first one here.
Bracket, what is that slope value? Put that value,
160.
round it off, 160.24, or you can have 161.
160.
No problem. Not H, no, don't put that. 160,
Okay. 161.
161. Then bracket
Close.
closed. Then plus intercept value 7693.
7693.
That's it. Now, if you drag it, everything will come. And put it under G column. F is your.
Okay.
Put it under the G column.
G column here.
Good.
Pay line.
Absolutely. इसको छोटा बना लो, then you'll have more space.
Yeah. And copy the formula. Copy special formula. Pay special as formula.
Formula with number.
Formula. Only change the reference, na? Bas.
Good. Now drag it.
Formula, yeah.
Now it will work for you.
Yeah, that is the
And
pay
it
line.
will work for, pull it.
Yeah.
You will get general manager also.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
Why will you get general manager? You need only slope and intercept value. Once you have the slope and intercept value for your positions, then you add that to a job which is unique and get the salary which you need to pay. Are you with me now? Did you get it?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if you want to see what is this pay line, hide F column,
Pay line.
your market data.
Hide F column. Okay.
Height.
Allow.
Hide.
Yeah.
Okay. Now bring it little closer so that you can have space for you. Now select your total point and your pay line salary. This is what you need to pay. And now insert and look at the diagram, how it will look.
Insertions diagram. Since graph. Yeah.
Insert, chart.
Yeah.
Have you seen, sir? This is your salary. Got it? This is your salary. That means keep both the graphs. I want to tell you something. Keep both where is the other graph?
Other graph we hide one column.
Keep
so
them
it is-
side by side so that I will show you something.
You need to hide that column, I guess.
इसको पीछे कर लो. You can hide that actually. Now you don't need that total points positions. Keep these two charts.
Okay.
I'll tell you something. Bring that chart
No,
also.
reference. पुराना चार्ट भी हाँ.
First, hide that thing. Yeah, people come again.
Online करो.
हाँ, ये दोनों को रखा.
But it has changed, I guess.
You'll have to recorrect it. Something has happened to it.
Delete the trend line. Uncheck
Delete it
the
off and
trend
do
line.
it again. Delete it off and do it again.
बस.
ठीक है.
Okay, great. See, let me tell you now. This is your first chart where you are trying to find out the pay line. Pay line means what is that I need to pay if these are my positions. Got it? And your market data. So what happens? Some of your positions are still, one or two positions are far away from that line. The more tighter it is, if you make a change in the data of if you increase the salary of 350 points wala thoda, why? Because your 350 point salary is lesser and your 320 something is more. If you correct it, look at it, R square will become almost 85, 90. Just do that correction. Just go back to that. So this is your pay line. That means here, 1 second, 325 is 75. Okay. Now what you do, 300 is 60, 355 is, let me just see, 1 second. 350 is 75. Then what is this? 320. 350. Let me just 70,000. 75,000. 355 you are giving 50,000. Have you seen?
Yes, sir.
And 325 points you are giving 75,000. So you make a correction here, 355 ko thoda, you will see your R square will change.
Yeah, we have tried to find that data, but
355 you make it as
I'll make this
80.
reverse the data. Yeah.
No, make it because it's 325. The difference of points is still 25.
Yes,
So make it about 85,000.
355, 85,000.
Why? Because every point is money here. 85,000. Okay. Now see how much is the R square now?
0.9.
0.9. 0.9.
90%. R
90%,
square is
yeah.
regression is 90%. That means, see, have you seen the position? Your positions have also changed. Again, there is a position which is 250, 260, which is getting, see, higher points, but it is getting lesser salary. Let me see, what is that? 260, 260, 260. Where is it? Something 245 is 50.
275 might be. You
And
are 45.
275
That is 275. Yeah.
So what I'm just trying to say, how you can actually then make out which position is higher and still getting lesser salary. So it gives you a good understanding. Got it? Have you understood, guys? This entire thing you all have done very well done. Huh?
Reverse the data for 45 and 50 for.
No, it's okay. I mean, this much on the ground, there will be sometimes some jobs which are, like that. So, but now have you seen?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, one question. Since we are calculating regression here.
Pardon?
Since we are calculating regression here. So what is the benchmark? What are the best score for a regression? Is there any best score?
I told you, no, regression is 100%. Yeah. So your R square is 90. That means 90% of the market salary is dependent on point value. But if your regression is something like 60%, that means 60% of your market salary is dependent on point value. That means 40% is dependent on various other factors. Got it?
Okay.
It can happen like that also. Some organizations is highly market driven. It can happen like that also. No problem. But when you are looking at job evaluation, your R square should be at least 85% or 90%. R square is 1 highest. So 0.9 means is a very good score. Got it?
But then this is completely or directly proportionate, to the two parameters. One is my understanding of the correct compensable factor within the industry, and second, the market data should be in line with my industry. I mean, I should have the correct market data.
When you are taking market data, you have to take, we will be coming to that quickly. We'll do market data. So obviously, what kind of market data, you can't pick up one apple and then compare it with an orange, So that we are going to do quickly. Okay. Have you understood this very clearly?
Yes.
Okay. Now you can send this as a mail. Let us take a quick break of just 10 minutes and come back quickly at 4 o'clock, guys. Because we have a lot more to do. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Quick.
बेटा शोएब 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 असर को जाने को डब्बा बुला रहे कितने के हाँ उठ बच्चा उसको जल्दी कजा हो जाएगी नमाज जल्दी जाओ फास्ट एकदम जल्दी जाओ जाओ
back? Is everybody back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
ma'am.
Okay, everybody? Okay. Okay. Then I have that muted, guys. Let me see if it's written something. Okay. Now, can you just put that up, guys? Can you put that up just now? Whatever, whoever has done that Excel sheet.
Naveen.
Naveen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'll take it.
Yeah, can you share that? Okay, guys. So welcome back. All right. Okay. Now what you have done is you have found out what is that you need to pay, right? Internally for a factory HR executive or a manager or a project manager or a general manager. Is that right? Is my I mean, am I on the same page as you? That we have now got, based on the benchmark data, what is that we need to pay? Pay line salary. Please write there under G, pay line salary. Okay, what is that I need to pay? Got it? Now, typically in organizations, you can't have an absolute amount of salary. You have to create what we call it as a range. A range means it will have a min and a max, right? Okay, so there are two things to look at. If it's a small organization and there are only few positions, so you can just create a range around every position by simply doing what? Plus 10% and minus 10%. That means if you have 2,818, because we are learning here, just round it off to 27820 or 519, just round it off, or you can keep it like that. What are you going to do? The low level jobs will have just, this is it, low, medium, high. In an organization, if you have low, medium and high, at a low level positions will have just a 10% range, that is 10 to 15% range. So what does it mean? That you have to create, if 27818 becomes a midpoint, plus 10 or 15%. So just do it right away. 15% of 27818.
Just say multiply 115%.
So you have to minus 15% of 27818 as minimum and make it minimum, and you have to add up 15% of 27818 and that will become your maximum. So you just do it for two positions, that's good enough, so that you get an understanding.
It should be percentage.
0.15 percentage.
Okay.
No, into 15%. Put it as into 15%. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Do one thing. You want to calculate the minimum
Let
and
me
maximum?
just let me repeat it. If 27818 is the midpoint, you are adding plus 15% and making it max. You are minusing minus 15% and making it min. That's it.
So
that I don't
first do minimum and then do maximum. So make it as min.
Multiplied by 85%. That will be your minimum. And for maximum,
115.
Yeah, maximum is multiply the same thing, 115. 27,818 into 115%. Yeah, so that's your max. Just copy paste the formula.
Okay. So one is for low. No, you don't have to have the same thing. So this, you have min and max you have got.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, at a higher level, you can have a 50% or a 60%. Okay, like say, for example, you are creating a range for your GM, which is 72,000 there. You will create at a 50% or higher. Because
Okay.
if you notice in organizations, the ranges are much higher at top level and the ranges are much lower at a low level. That's
Lower
one.
level.
Now, if you have many positions, say so organizations, what they will do, they will then, if you recall my session 2, they will do clustering. For example, 125 and 175, they are similar positions. You agree?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I put 125 and 175 and say, hey, both of them can be in so 125 will become the min and I can have 175 as the max. I can also do that. That means clustering and making the 125 as the min and 175 as the max. Okay, so there are two ways of looking at it. One is just taking positions and creating a range, or doing a clustering, categorization, and similar jobs, because here there are very few, not 10 jobs. But if an organization has 50 jobs, 60 jobs, you can actually then put them together. Got it? I have a small article on this which will explain with a little bit of details also. Maybe I will send it to you across. Okay? Yeah. So that this becomes very, very clear as to how do you do this. Now you have what? You have created, what is it? Ranges. Now, but typically for benefits, you have to create what? Grades. So everybody gets, when you are using a point plan, salary as per the point plan, but then they're further categorized into grades. Like, for example, I can have 125, 175 into one grade, 275, 245. Oh, there are three positions, 125, 125, and 175. So all these three positions, project engineer, administrator, and factory HR executive, they can all get into one grade. Then 275, 245, depending on the nature of a job, if it is very different, or only two jobs, 275 and 245 into another grade. Then 300, 325, 355 in another grade, and 400 in another grade. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Special care has to be taken at the cutoff stage of points. So what organizations do typically? At every 50 points or 100 points, okay, at a lower level, they will cut off. Say, for example, my starting job has 100 points. 100 to 150 or 175. All the jobs which will come under those points will become one grade. Then 175 to, I'll increase the point difference. Say 100 points, 175 to 275. So that will become all the jobs which will come between that will become another grade. So typically what happens is that you are categorizing your jobs, taking into consideration what are those jobs which are falling between those difference between those points. Okay, and special care to be taken at the cutoff, because cutoff is the place where is the job similar in nature or is it of a higher nature. Okay, guys, have you understood this point plan? Because we're going to then go to another method called case method.
Actually, I only had one question.
Yeah, tell me.
This pay line salary will should be considered as a benchmark, or it should be the minimum pay line salary the employee should get?
Pardon?
And what are we considering it?
Pardon?
So the pay line salary which we have which we have brought in column G. So are we considering this as a benchmark, or are we considering as a minimum pay salary to the employees?
No. Pay line is the salary which you are supposed to be paying.
Supposed to be paying. Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
Okay. Now, if this is the salary based on the benchmark data that it is paying, but if you now then consider that, hey, for few positions, I want to pay higher salary, then because your pay line salary is the 50th percentile. I'm not touching about percentile because some of you may know and some of you may not know. So therefore, I'm still not discussing about pay line salary. Okay. Now, before I go to high plan, I'm sure all of you will be wondering, what is the slope? What is the intercept? I want to show you physically what is the slope and intercept. Can Naveen just...
Yeah, I'll stop sharing.
Yeah, stop sharing, then I will show you that. Because I'm sure I told you that these are two terms. When you use them for regression, you use them. But physically, what are they? Does anybody have a little idea about statistics? I'm sure all of you. Okay. Now, what is this? We were talking about slope and intercept. Okay. I told you that I will teach you now. Okay. Now, if this is your salary, so can I say this is also Y? Yes, no? Please pick.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Now, if these are your points, job point, can I say this is X?
Yes, ma'am.
X-axis.
X. Okay. Now, what was that pay line? When you actually plotted as a scatter graph, then you saw that there was a line. I have to use a line. Okay. No?
It's a pay line, yeah.
Okay. Now, we'll talk about intercept first. What is intercept? If this is a pay line, if you are actually extrapolating this pay line like this, it will cut into, sorry. Okay. Let me just 1 second erase only this part. Okay. Let me go to draw line. So if I were to okay, it now has this line cut into this line which is called Y.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, when it cuts into this line, now okay, what is the value of this points here?
0.
Tell me.
0.
Maybe
Huh?
minus.
0.
Huh?
Minus.
The
0.
point value is 0,
0.
na?
0.
Huh? Will all of you agree that the point value is 0 here? Here.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
My
ma'am.
cursor, huh?
Yeah.
So what is intercept value which you get when the pay line intercept is nothing but cutting into this Y line? That's why it's called Y intercept, not WHY. It's called Y, which is a dependent variable. Y intercept. This value when point value is what? 0. Got it? Very clear now? When your point value is 0, what is that value which this pay line actually, when it cuts into it, what is that value? And when you do it statistically, that is the value which has been calculated. Mostly it is minus, sometimes it can be also plus. Got it? Yes,
Yeah.
no, please, very clear?
Yes, yes, yes.
Now we will go to slope. Okay, what is slope? Now, if I say from 0 to your points are what? 400? Right? These are 400 points. Huh? Now, I will use this one. Okay. I will take any job. Say, for example, this is a job of 200 points or 300 points. Huh? Then there'll be a corresponding salary. Right? Huh? Now, if I take another job like this of some value, of some point value, it will also have some salary value. Huh? I'm very bad at drawing. Again, I'm taking another job at some point value. Huh? Then it will have. Got it? Now, what is slope? Slope is with what is this? How much does this pay line or the salary increase if, say, for example, this is 100 points, then 101 point. That means if the point value increases by 1 point, how much does the salary increase? Are you with me now? Yes, no, quick.
Yes, yes. Yes.
How much does the salary increase if the point value increases by 1 point? So 1 point, what is the increase in the salary? Okay. Now, having said that, supposing this is like this. Supposing I draw, there's another slope like this. Okay. Another slope like this. What does it mean? Or another line like this. Which line will have the, I will just name them also, then you can easily tell me. This is A line, this is B, and this is C, and this is D. Which will have the highest slope value?
D.
You are right,
D.
absolutely, Anish. Because see, this value is absolutely very little. This value is little more. This value is, thank you, Shusha. This value is, are you with me now?
Yeah.
So
Correct.
slope is that value, it depends, no? So that is what is calculated. Okay, very clear? I'll stop sharing now.
Yeah.
Done?
So idle line is B.
No, there is no idle line. It depends on your benchmark data. I'm only trying to clarify when I said you have to calculate two values, slope and intercept value. I told you they are statistical terms, okay? But I wanted to physically show you what is a slope and what is a intercept.
Okay.
Got
it? Understood.
Okay.
Ma'am, in this point method, so higher the point, higher the responsibility, and higher will be the grade. Is there any
maybe if your higher the points and benchmark data is also very high, so your slope value will be higher.
Okay. Is there any way, I mean, like different scenario, say like if the point, even though point is higher, but responsibility will be low and salary also might be low. Is there any?
Can you just tell me who's asking?
Naveen, ma'am.
Naveen, the purpose of doing job evaluation, you are actually evaluating the job for its worth in terms of skill, knowledge, responsibility, whatever is required. So on the basis of that only your points are calculated. Correct. So if your point value is low, then obviously the job is of low value. Like for example, you have put a number of years, you may get high points on that. Got it?
Yes.
But in terms of responsibility, you may get low points. In terms of effort, you may get low points. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Naveen, it cannot be possible that high job, but what happens typically when you're doing job evaluation? There are some people, by the virtue of being there for many, many years, that they are sitting on a high salary. Okay. But when you have done job evaluation, their points are coming low. So what will you do? Typically organizations, then consultants will recommend that let the job go and let it retire. Okay. Then you will take it as, don't change anything for that.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. So we will, now this is clear. Okay. Now let me go to. Okay. Now, there's one more method which we talk about, hay. Guys, hay is nothing but a point plan method. Okay. It's a point plan. You have done point plans, right? What does a point plan have? It has compensable factors. Then it has degrees of differentiation, then it has weightages, and then it has points. Now here what happens, in Hay method, which is a patented method, you don't have to define or determine compatible factors. It comes as a ready-made. What all comes ready-made? Your factors come ready-made. It has know-how. Can you see this? I will put it on this one. It has know-how. Okay. Can you see now? So know-how, then it has problem solving, then it has accountability. Typically, there is a short form, it is called KH, PS, and accountability. Okay. And then under know-how, you have sub-compensable factors, which are 3. One is technical requirement, the other is managerial requirement, and then the other is, you can call it as people or human relations. So there are 3 sub-compensable factors under know-how. Then problem solving. Then again, under problem solving also, you have 2 compensable factors, sub-compensable. One is the environment, that is the context of the job, and then how much, the challenges there. So it has 2. And under accountability, it has 3: freedom to act, scope, and impact. So typically what happens, now you don't have to do anything. It comes as a point planner, which you did, putting level 1, level 2, level 3, and then multiplying and creating a point plan. Here it comes ready-made reckoner. Okay. Now you have a ready-made reckoner. All that you need to do is just take the job description and assign points just like the way we did. Okay. You don't have to calculate, you don't have to define, nothing. So, but the advantage of using a Hay method is that they have they have market data, availability of market data across all locations, across all geographies, globally. So because of that, it becomes really a great advantage when you want to benchmark, that you have accurate, authentic benchmarked data. Otherwise, Hay method is just like a point method. You calculate the total point value, and then thereon you are doing just exactly what Naveen did here. For all of you to see, you just have to then calculate the slope, intercept, and then calculate the pay line salary. Okay, guys? All right. Any questions,
Right.
Anish?
No, it's okay. So far, good.
No. Okay. Now, we finished the what is the job evaluation. Then there are certain metrics you should know, and I'm sure most of you must have heard about it. And I think some of you wanted to know Compa-ratio, right? Who is aware of what is a Compa-ratio and its importance? Anybody? Very, very popular, very, very key Compa-ratio. Let me use a whiteboard. Yeah, tell me. Anish was about to say something.
The Compa-ratio is nothing but the comparison of the salary ratio. What is the market rate going on and how much today we are paying. So we just calculate.
So what do you do
based on that we decide the
Compa-ratio is not. So what do you do? How do you use it in your organization, Anish?
Yeah, if Compa-ratio is, for example, 1:3 or 1:2, there no increment for that gentleman or no increment maybe. And those who are very far away the Compa-ratio, the increment will be much better to them.
Yeah, very, very closer.
Market correction.
Yeah, but maybe a little correction is required there. Yeah. Say, for example, I'm just taking one very broad. Say, for example, I'm using at a low level a particular pay range. Pay range means I'm taking a pay range which has a min and a max. So I will use something like 8,000, and I'm keeping it very simple. 12,000. Sorry. Okay. 12,000. All right. Now the midpoint, obviously, it will be what? I will just make what? Okay. This will be the midpoint. So this will be
10,000.
10.
10,000. Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is min, huh? Okay. This is max, huh? And this is your midpoint, right?
Right.
Now, typically, how is midpoint calculated? I'll teach you a little later. Okay. Now, when we are talking about comp ratio, it is the ratio of what your salary, base salary, divided by midpoint.
Sure.
For example, say Anisha's salary is 8,000. Anisha's salary is base salary is 8,000. Then I will say, what is this comp ratio divided by 10,000? Okay, equal to what will it be? 8,000 by 10,000?
0.8.
Pardon?
0.8%.
0.8.
8%.
Or can I also call it as or?
0.8. Yeah.
80%?
Yes.
Okay.
80%.
Does it also mean that the remaining 20% are drawing more than Anish?
One second. Okay. Yeah. Tell me.
Yeah. So here we tried to see, the meaning of comp ratio with this example. So if we consider the XYZ resources drawing 8,000, the midpoint is 10,000. So which means that, it comes roughly around 80% in terms of comp ratio. Does it also mean that the 20% are drawing more than this XYZ resource or probably initial salary?
So you are saying you are now using comp ratio to compare Anisha's salary with somebody else's salary, right?
Correct.
No. Comp ratio is a comparison, is a ratio between your salary and midpoint. How close or how far away are you before the midpoint or after the midpoint? It gives you only that comparison. Got it?
Got it.
So to what advantage you will get? A, if you are at 80%, that means I can assume that maybe you have just joined and you are still at the beginning, at the minimum of this salary range, right? If you have, Anish has just joined this organization, he is at 80%. That means if I am giving 1,000 rupees every year as an increment, 1, 2, 3, 4, he will reach the maximum in 4 years, which is 120% comp ratio, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Maybe somebody is at 9,000. That means 9,000. Obviously, I don't have to even calculate. It will be
88%.
No?
90.
90%. And if you are at a midpoint, you are always. Let me
100.
explain this entire thing. Sorry. Very well, Now, I want to explain to that somebody who asked a question. Why do we, first of all, what is the importance of comp ratio? A, it gives me an indication as to who is sitting on a high salary and who is sitting on a low salary vis-a-vis that range, vis-a-vis the salary range. Did you get me? What am I trying to say?
Yeah.
If somebody, I will calculate 80%, that means he's still at a minimum. If I'll say 120, that means he's already sitting at a very high salary. Got it? If somebody's two people working in the same level, somebody at 80% and same level means, say, I'll talk about an HR executive working in your organization. So the HR executive is on a certain pay range. So there are two people working. One is at 80% and one is at 120%. What can you make out of it? Tell me. Anybody?
80% we have to give. 80% person we have.
Don't say give. Say what can you make out of that data? That means 80% person, whoever it is, X person is sitting on a less salary, and 120%, whoever it is sitting on a high salary. Got it? It
Right.
gives me an indication that yes. So typically what happens, why do I have comp ratio? Helps me to understand to fix policies, promotion policy or my recruitment policy, etc. I as a policy, first of all, let me talk about policies. I'll say anybody who enters my organization, okay, I will recruit them only between 80% and 90%. I will not at any I will not recruit them at a higher comp ratio. Got it? Even if there's a high pressure, I will never bring them at 110% or 120% policy. Why? Because I know that if I bring a person here 110 or 120, quickly I have to promote him, or he will be sitting there without any increment. So there is a recruitment policy. Then I will say all people above 120%, minimum 120% comp ratio only will be promoted. So I can also use it from my promotion policy. So one is promotion policy or recruitment policy. Two, during annual increment, Rahul and Naveen are two people who are working as HR managers. Got it? Both have got what rating? They have got a rating of 4 on a 5-point scale. 4 rating. Both of them. Both of them have got 4 rating. Now, Rahul is sitting at 90% comp ratio and Naveen is sitting at 110% comp ratio. Both of them are HR managers and both of them have got the same rating. Got it? Now, what will I do? Now, Rahul has been fairly new in the organization, so therefore he was hired at a higher level, and that's why he's already at 110%. But Naveen, but Rahul was there. He earlier on when market was really low, he was hired. He came at a lesser salary, and he's still lagging, but a good performer. 4 and 4. Now, so this year annual increment. What will I do? I'll calculate comp ratio for every individual level by level and then say that I want to reduce the gap. So I will give Rahul, who is at 90% comp ratio, a higher increment as in compared to Naveen, who is already on a high comp ratio. Though both have got 4 rating. Now, typically in organizations, Naveen will come up and say, why did I get less increment when I got 4, and why did Rahul also Rahul get more when he also got only a 4? Because why he is sitting on a low comp ratio. To bridge this gap slowly and slowly, I will give him higher increment amount, okay, and for him I will give lesser increment, though they have got a 4 rating. Are you understanding this? Because I have to bring equity, no? For some reason, they have been hired at a lesser salary and they have been crawling like that. So what happens in annual increment time? I will try to reduce the gap. This is called salary compression. That means this guy is actually going through salary compression. Got it?
Right.
Is it very clear? So comp ratio becomes very, very important for us, especially during, if you are focused, like Anish was saying, no, annual increment. That's the time. Now, why? Because it gives you an indication who is sitting on a high salary and who is at a low salary. So people who have just come, it's okay if they are low salary. But people with long years of experience, good performers, and they are still at a very low comp ratio, then what happens? It becomes imperative to bring them to at least, bridge that gap. So they will get higher increment. So you can't do it in 1 year. So they will at least take about 2 to 3 years, because otherwise cash flow problems will come in. Got it? Ideally, there is a ratio. When you comp ratio can be calculated at individual level. Then it will be calculated at unit level. And it can be calculated at organization level also. Now you may ask me, how can it be calculated individually? We understand, ma'am. We'll take only base divided by midpoint. But how can you do it for a unit level or an organization level? Any ideas?
And we can take similar designation across units.
Unit level we can do with.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Anish, yeah, you take
No,
at the
let,
level of.
Okay, no, what I would like to add is when we say it is unit level or organization level, normally we do cross-functional level. If we have decided the compa-ratio for the one particular manager, so we consider all functional manager in the all manager salary. Then if we consider the GM, so then across the organization we consider the GM. So that is the way we do it.
Yeah. So one is you are comparing. So here I was bringing in another point. You are looking at GMs across, because you want to see, hey, all these GMs are of almost equal nature, responsibility, etc. So therefore, let us calculate their comp ratios. So you will look at all the comp ratios of the GMs individually.
Yeah.
You will look at the GM's comp ratios individually and say who is sitting on a high salary and who is sitting on a low salary, considering the fact that everybody is on the same grade, right?
Right.
Okay. Cross-functionally, you will look at it, that's okay. But at an individual level. But you can also calculate comp ratios for a unit level by taking into consideration all the people who are working in the unit, the number of people, their base salaries, okay? Total it up, then average it by dividing it with the number. And then if you look at your comp ratio, ideally I said ideal comp ratio should be 60 to 40. That means 60 should be before the midpoint, 40 should be after the midpoint. But if you have here, say for example, if you have across the organization, 80% of people are here. Sorry. Okay. And only 20% is here. What does it reflect? Across the organization. What does it reflect? That means your people are actually almost tenured. They are sitting on high salary, right?
They're overpaid.
So that's how comp ratios become very, very useful. Okay. Also, you can do further a deep level calculation by saying your revenues. You can correlate with revenues. You're sitting geographically or regionally. You can calculate and see there is higher comp ratio, because higher comp ratio indicates higher salaries. But revenues are less. You have to find out why. Or top performers and say what is their comp ratio, and then see what is how much is the revenue there. But whereas you are looking at average performers, their comp ratios are high but revenues are less. So you can do so many
calculations. Combinations, yeah.
You can do so many calculations. You can use a pie chart and do everything. It gets into analytics actually. Okay. Any clarifications here? Then we can proceed.
Yeah.
One more thing.
Yeah, I have one question. Yeah. Yeah, Nirmala, just one clarity would like to have. When we do compa-ratio, so let us say for example, I am doing a compa-ratio for the HR function. And I do have in my team 200 people, different location.
For what job? HR. Are you saying HR function? Entire HR function, okay? Okay.
Yeah, entire HR function, unit-wise, and I have to do 200 people. More or less, job responsibilities are same, group-wise. And if I have to decide min and max of the function, for example, senior HR manager, and I have 10 senior HR manager at different location. So how do I decide what is the right mean and max for them? Should I take survey
Comp-ratio
data?
is not, Anish, these are two different things. You said comp-ratio, I'm taking comp-ratio. Comp-ratio will give you an understanding if you are taking at different regions, okay? That means are you doing it individually for all the regions, or are you doing unit wise, or are you doing location wise for that HR function? So, but you cannot create a pay range with that. You'll only get an idea, an indication as to where your present people are within the present level.
Okay.
You are only getting an understanding. It is like a report card saying, hey, your
present
people,
present
report card saying your people,
Okay.
present people who are working in an organization for whom you are paying every month, payroll is going out, okay? They are sitting on this kind of a comp-ratio.
No, understood. Let's take example of my HR manager has the 40 lakh rupees salary.
One HR manager has
40 lakh rupees salary.
Okay.
Right. And another one has somewhere else 60 lakhs.
Okay.
So definitely the comp-ratio is different for two region and
Absolutely.
2 person also.
Absolutely.
Correct. So the 40 lakh is the today's payment what I am doing. So I don't know what is the maximum. Then I need to get some survey. No, okay, what will be the maximum for?
But 1 second. Considering that your HR managers, both of them are in the same pay range, pay level. Got it? You are not taking people at different levels, because midpoints will be different, no?
Yeah. No, that is what I'm asking. No, if X is having 40 lakh rupees, so for that 40 lakh, what will be the max and what will be the minimum? How do I know these two numbers?
So typically in organizations, what they do when you don't actually do a real compensation and don't fix salaries. Like, for example, you are learning how to fix salaries. If you don't fix salaries, typically in traditional organizations, the guy who keeps on joining, they will keep on joining. Okay. So at any point of time, say, for example, in Anish's organization, at this point of time, you will look at number of HR managers. You won't take HR managers. You look at one pay grade. You may be having 5 grades, 6 grades, 8 grades. Okay. You look at one pay grade. Okay. And in that pay grade, you will see how many people are there in that pay grade. The person with the least salary becomes your min, and the person with the maximum salary becomes your max range in that pay grade. Now, your HR managers may or may not be, I don't know, may or may not be in the same pay grade. But we will take, for example, that this 40,000 guy and 60,000 guy are also in the same pay grade. I hope you are, in the same pay grade. So when I look at comp ratio, I'm looking at the same pay grade. So one guy is at 40,000. One guy is at 60,000. There may be another guy who's at 30,000. There may be another guy who's at 80,000. May or may not be. I'm not saying. Okay. As of now, you are going by, typically the traditional organizations will go by, because it's like, okay, this guy comes, okay, you give him, so that the maximum keeps on extending. You don't fix that this will be the min and this will be the max. Only when you do a benchmark study and then decide on your pay levels and say, hey, my ranges are going to be this. Otherwise, typically traditional organizations keep on extending their max. Now I'm coming to that point only.
I have a question. During the data analysis part, during making a comp ratio, should we consider ranges irrespective of position and function while comparing? Is it wise to compare similar position and similar functions or a similar profile to get a better comp ratio? To get actual comp-ratio.
No. So when you're talking about a comp ratio, it's the actual data you're taking.
Yeah.
Let me give just one example, saying that if I am going to find out, I will take Anish's example, so that Anish, okay? Now, here it is not a role. When I'm looking at comp ratio, it is Anish. So Anish comp ratio will be what? Anish may be having certain salary. If you don't want to disclose, no problem, but just give an arbitrary figure, Anish.
Yeah, 40 lakh.
Something. Okay, I'll say 40 lakhs,
Yeah.
right? All right. Okay. Now, Anish is at 40 lakhs, but what it could be a total salary. But when I'm doing a comp ratio, I'm only going to take his guaranteed salary, which is called base salary. There will be a base amount, which won't be added with variable pay, other things. There will be a base salary. So whenever you're doing internal equity and whenever you're doing structuring, whenever you're doing pay bands, you don't take the entire salary into account, because the salary may have other things like other benefits or variable pay, etc. You only take guaranteed salary, which comes with the appointment order. This is going to be a salary. Okay. So even then, if I say 40 lakhs, okay, but I think this will be a total salary, to be very honest. You agree? Huh? So I have to take out from that just base salary. Now you may be falling under a particular pay grade. What is your pay grade?
Yeah, maybe
You have any
4.
idea? You take any abrupt figure.
4.
Don't give me the real figure.
Yeah.
You may.
Yeah,
you can
4.
give me any
Grade 4.
grade. Pay grade.
Yeah, grade. Yeah, pay grade 4.
A grade 4. So that will have a min and a max.
Yeah, range. Yeah.
Right.
What will be the? It will have a pay range. What I call it as, wait. Pay range.
Yeah.
Range means it has to be translated
Min and max.
to min and max.
20 lakhs.
What is
Yeah.
that? Min and max.
Max.
So now Anish will tell me what is the pay range. Don't tell me, I'm just giving you a typical how it is. Min and max. Now in this min and max, you are somewhere. Are you? You are somewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I will find out what's your comp ratio by taking your salary divided by the midpoint of this range. Not any other range. By the midpoint of this range, and say, hey, this is the comp ratio. Got it?
Got it.
So midpoint is very important. Now, midpoint, what is the formula? There's a formula for it. N plus 1 divided by 2. What does it mean? Now, in this pay range from min to max, there may be a lot of people who are getting salary. Say, for example, 12,000. I'll just give small numbers so that it's easy for you to understand. Okay. Then 9,000, because the grade starts from 8,000, say. Then there will be people 10,000. Okay, I'll just add one. Okay. Say for example,
here also add 1.
Now I'm just teaching you how to make a. How will you do a midpoint? Okay, one more I'll put.
Yeah, at both the places. No, you have to add one number also.
1,000.
Now, how will you create? How will you take out midpoint of this? 1,200. This is
12,000, ma'am. 12,000.
I will say only 9. I'll add one more 0 here. Okay, so that it becomes easier. 12,000. I'll add 12,000, 9,000. 10,000. Okay.
10,000.
11,000. I'm just teaching you how to do a midpoint because that's, I think, important. Okay. So how will you do a midpoint? Just tell me. I'll just tell you how to go about it. What will you do now? First.
Okay. The minimum amount we have to take, which is around 9,000 now.
No. Simple.
Plus 1 divided by.
So what you do is go by ascending or descending order. When you have data, first of all, if you have to do a midpoint, you won't get data like everything in a systematic way. Like say for example, in your pay range, there will be people with different kind of salaries. So first thing you have to list out 10 people, 15 people and list out their salaries. Okay. Now what will you do here? You have to go either ascending.
Yeah.
Okay. Or
Descending.
descending. That is the first thing you have to do.
Yes, ma'am.
After you have done that ascending or descending order, then you have to use this formula n plus 1 by 2. What is n plus 1 by 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. N is called number of items. So if I were to quickly do the ascending or descending order, just see. What is the smallest here? Smallest number is
9. 9,000.
9,000. Again,
9,000.
it's coming.
9,000.
9,000.
10,000. 10, 11, 12.
Yeah,
Okay.
1 second. 10, 1, 2, 3. Sorry. Then 10,000. Sorry, correct. Then what else?
11.
11, 1, 1,
12.
1, 2,
12.
3. And then
12.
just give you an idea. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, done. So we put it in ascending or descending order. Now you use that formula n plus 1. So it means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is
3.
3. So which is my midpoint? 1,
10,000.
2, 3. So 10,000. Say for example, there were only 4. That means 4 items. N is 4. 4 plus 1 will be 5. 5 divided by 2 is
2.5.
2.5.
3.5. So what will it be then? I have to use what? The 1, 2,
19 by
3.
2.
So I have to do 10,000 plus 11,000, which is 21,000, then divided by 2.
To
Got it?
average. Yeah. Average.
So that's how you take a
very milta hai.
what is it? Midpoint is calculated. Anish, is it clear?
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
So what we did is when we are doing this compa-ratios for entire organization, no. So we made the standard survey first. For example, the HR manager, what is the range in market? Maybe it is minimum 20 lakhs to 30 lakhs. So we make that. Then finance manager, then all categories we did the survey and we got the data from outside. Then we map our present team where they are.
Okay.
With that ratio.
Why don't you share that
And
data? Then maybe I can give you my expert comments on it, Anish. Huh?
Right,
Okay.
right now I don't
not
have.
Right now, not right
okay,
now, because we don't have the time, but definitely so that, for more further clarifications, what you do for the next session, or send it to me, I will clarify, then I'll put it as a slide. I will see everything is correct or whatever, and then do it as a case study for the group. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, one more point before we do salary survey, guys, is very important. That is the blue rule and the red rule. Now, what is a blue rule? Now, many a times what happens, we hire people. Okay. Now that person whom we are hiring may be at a lesser salary than even minimum. Like say, for example, if the minimum here is 8,000, he may be at a much lesser salary. Okay. Now, as what happens as an HR guy, I will say, I will give you 10% more or 20% more, but which comes lesser than the minimum. The blue rule says, irrespective of whatever it is the salary, but you have to start with the minimum. But traditionally, in most of the organizations, why does structures go haywire? Because you begin to start playing with those pay ranges and you give him lesser than the minimum. No? So the blue rule is that you should pay irrespective of anything, start with the minimum salary. Okay? That's called the blue rule. Very clear about the blue rule? That means blue rule. Means start with the minimum of pay range. Okay. Now, what is the red rule? Red rule is that a lot of people, what happens, I've reached here. Say, for example, I've reached maximum of 12,000. Now, next year, what will happen? What do you do? Tell me, Anish, in your organization, a person is sitting here. Okay. Now, annual increment. So what will you do? How will you deal with this case?
I'll initially check whether he is promoted or not.
Anybody else? Okay. Who? Tell me.
Yeah, during the appraisal, we'll see that as already is sitting on very high salary, so we will give comparatively less increment
I'm
to him.
not saying, Anish, high salary or low salary. This person has stayed in the organization maybe he came here 1, 2, 3, he was hired here 9,000, or maybe he was hired here. So he got his increments, he has come off here. End of the pay range. End of this pay range. Now I'm sitting here, 12,000 rupees. Okay. Now annual increments have happened. What will you do? Will you give him annual increment, or will you stop his annual increment? What will you do?
We can check if he's promotable to the next
No,
grade.
we'll give him.
Huh?
We have to give him.
Okay, you have to give him.
We have to give.
You have to give. And then when you give him, what will happen? The pay range will become more. So what is the red rule?
More.
Red rule is when a person has reached the maximum of the pay range, what you do? You stop his annual increment because he has reached the maximum. But if you stop and don't give him anything, you'll be demotivated. If he's a he's got a 4 rating or a 5 rating, whatever, you give him bonus, which is equivalent to the whatever equivalent of that 4 rating. If it is 5% or 6% or whatever, you give him. But when you say bonus, this bonus does not get added into his salary as an
base pay. The base pay will remain changed.
The base salary will
be unchanged.
It will remain the same for maybe 1 year or 2 years till the time he is there sitting in that grade. But say maybe because of market correction or maybe because of promotion, then once he again shifts from that grade, then he will again get his increment. Base salary will change. But the red rule says, if he has come to the end of the grade, then he only gets performance bonus till the time, say for example, if market corrections are due and he gets then the entire pay grade is going to change. So obviously then the max will change. So he will again get increment. Otherwise, then he will only get performance, I have to write here, bonus. This is clear, guys? But in most of the other organizations, traditional old organizations, they will keep on increasing that, and then you don't know these pay structures. They'll become so long. Max will become so big,
Yeah.
So you have to have a definite structure, and you have to have certain discipline to maintain the structure. Correct?
Ma'am, there might be few people who don't want to go to the next level. They are happy or content with whatever work they are doing. So for those people,
you continuously give performance bonus.
Okay.
Because otherwise, what are you doing? You are increasing the salary, but their worth is not increasing. No, they give you the same productivity, and you're increasing the wage cost also. No, got it?
Okay. Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So this is called the blue rule and the red rule. All right, guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, this was very important, and so now we'll stop sharing, and then we'll go to quickly. We'll go to the external equity. Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, what did I do? Okay. So with this, we have completed the establishing internal equity. Okay. Now we are going to look at external equity. Anybody who understands what is external equity and why do we do them? Anybody?
To have a fair compensation as per the industry.
Yeah. So when we say external equity, as I said in the first session, it's called how competitive we are. What is it? How
Competitive.
Competitive we are. But some people may say, hey, we don't even want to be competitive. We will pay what we want. But if you don't even know what the market paying, then how will you know whether you are just throwing money on the table and giving more, right? Now, if you are not giving the right kind of a salary as in compared to the market, then you are also not able to attract and also to retain people, right? So what does it do? External equity or market surveys or trying to know what your peers or competition is paying, you can establish your own pay policy. What we call it as, let me just go to the, yeah. So let me just stop. I'll show you, but this is also important to show you. So there are two things, what I call it as, you should know. Clear price. Okay. When we are talking about external equity, okay, what is it all about? Trying to find out what is the market salary. Okay. Now, when I say market salary, what does it mean? That means what are my peers paying, or what is the competition with whom I am paying. Okay. Now, when we talk about market salary and when we talk about market competition, how does it help me to establish what I call it as a pay
Equity
policy, right? Now, a pay policy can be what? It can be a lead policy or a lag policy or on par. What is a lead policy? That means if market is paying a certain amount, I will pay more than the
Market.
Okay. Lag means I'll pay less than the market, right? Or on par means
equal to the market.
Equal to
the market.
Sorry, equal to market. Okay. Now, so organizations, what do? They don't lead. They don't pay more than the market across the organization. They can choose based on criticality of
a role
of jobs or roles. My strategic positions across the organization, irrespective of levels, I will say they are very, very critical. So I'll pay more than the market. But why do they want to pay more than the market? For example, if I'm in the manufacture of some chip business, etc., to compete with the market, I want to make the best chips. So what will I need? Do I need monkeys or do I need
best manpower? Best manpower will require.
Best manpower. Will the best manpower come cheap?
No, ma'am.
So I want to pay the best. That means I will pay much more than the market or whatever. So I'll say I'll pitch myself to 80th percentile, 90th percentile. I will explain to you what is this percentile just now. So that means I'll pay more than the market. But for me, my support right now is not strategic or critical. I can do with average talent. So what will I do then? I'll pay less than the market. I'll pay 60th percentile or 70th percentile for my support functions like HR, finance, administration. Got it? And some say IT support, etc. I'll say no, I need because that is important. So I'll say I'll pay as per the market. Are you understanding the strategy? Depending on my pay policy, depending on my compensation strategy, then I will have a pay policy of lead, lag, on par. Okay. Now, when I say this lead, lag, on par, for example, to be little more very critical, clear, say for example, I'm a consulting company like a Ernst & Young. Okay. I'm using chartered accountant because I have actuarial services, right? So what kind of a CS I need? Quick.
Top class.
Yeah, very top class. Okay. Now you are a manufacturing organization. You also want a CA in your finance department. What kind of a CA you will need? Average.
Average.
So what I will say, I don't mind doing with an average because I don't do top class product or service to hire a top class guy, right? And pay him that much. But for an EY or a consulting company who's into actuarial service, I want the best of CS, so therefore I'll pay him the best because the kind of work I expect from him is of a very high value, high nature. Got it? So in order to get better competence, you will pay higher, but that depends on your product and service. Is it very clear now?
Yeah.
So depending in your organization, whatever is your core job, whatever skills and competence you want to ensure that you are competitive, you will pay more. You will pay more not because that you want to pay more, because you want better competence. That's why you will go to IITs. That's why you will go to IIMs. Got it? Otherwise, you will say, I'll make do with the tier 3, tier 2 graduate engineers also. Done? So this, you have to be very clear when you are doing this. Now, when you are actually doing a market survey, how will you know which companies to go? Any idea?
Similar.
Obviously, similar. Similar means people who are making your same product and services. No? Products. Or people who are using your skill sets. Okay. Now, because your organization is like a pyramid, at an entry level, you will get data from where you will actually source people. That means at a local level or at a regional level. At a middle level, if you are getting talent from Pan-India, you will get data from Pan-India. At a global level, if you think you are taking people from a global level, then you will get data from global level. But it doesn't make sense that you are taking locally, but you are getting data at a national level. Does it make sense?
No.
Absolutely not. So therefore, you have to decide on from where to get data, which geographies to get data, depending on from where are you sourcing and at what entry level are you sourcing. These are few things you have to keep in mind. Then you always have to look at your, what I say as in salary survey, there's a common word which is being used, very keyword. You must have heard BEN. Benchmark jobs or positions or whatever. What are these? All the time you use this for a market survey.
Standard.
That means you have to actually have those 50 to 60% or 75% of the jobs in your organization which can be compared with the market. That means jobs which are standard, don't change over a period of time, and which have similar jobs in the market. See, for example, there's an HR manager working in your organization. Now you want to compare him. So obviously you will look at another HR manager who's of the same size, scale, and same similar industry. But if I'm going to compare him with some other kind of a industry and another size and everything, what will happen? Obviously, it won't match. But sometimes what happens, your organization may also have unique positions. They can't be compared. So in market survey, typically you use benchmarked positions. Okay, guys? So this is the little funda you need before we carry on with something else, which I want to show you now. Where is the data? 1 second.
But one question I have here.
Yeah, tell me.
See, when we do benchmarking, no, probably we do with our referee company only.
Yeah.
Or the organization. But if you see the attrition, most of the talent don't go to the competitors. They always go to the entire world whenever they wanted to go.
They will
are
go
getting
where?
best opportunity. For example, they may go for cross-functional industries also. Let us say if I am in a food industry, so my attrition, they are joining engineering units, they are joining automobile units, they are joining some other food companies. So when I do benchmarking and comparative data, I had to consider everything, right? Because my talent is getting attracted there.
So very important to see where is your talent going. You getting me?
Right.
You have to see where your talent, like say for example, if you are looking at HR managers, you also have to look at cross-function, because HR managers role is something which can be, you can go to any industry.
Yeah.
Okay, but when you're comparing something like your production or operations, you will be comparing it with similar organizations, right? But sometimes what happens if you are actually taking from similar industries data also, you are looking at, hey, how are they paying salaries for their support functions as well? Okay. Now, I don't know how many of you have actually seen a survey and have used it. So typically this is an old one, but it gives a lot of good understanding. Okay, this is a salary survey done by Watson Wyatt earlier. Now say it looks like this. And typically I said the starting position. So this is a survey wherein they have taken, actually, if you notice, 65 benchmarked positions. Have you seen here? They have taken 65 benchmark positions and 25 companies. 25 companies. So quickly, let us just see those. This is all the GAN being given. Yeah. Okay. How many positions? 65 positions. Now, typically, all those 65 benchmarked positions have been categorized or clustered under various functions, job families. Okay, like consulting business unit, non-consulting, marketing and communication, administration, quality, sales, etc. Done? This is clear? So when you take benchmark positions, the first thing you do, you also put them under various job families. Job family is nothing but like a production, finance, HR. These are called job families. Got it? Next, in the salary survey, these are all the companies from which the data has been taken. Now you have to, you can either get a published data, you can buy data, or you can be a participant. Okay? So typically you also have to look at, when you're a participant, who are the other people who have participated, etc. Now what happens when you look at this, then if they're all from similar IT services, whatever, but suddenly if you find, that a chip company, you are going to look at data here. Chip company is a different technology, say for example, and you are comparing yourself with something like a IT company who's into services, obviously non-comparable. So you need to compare with apples to apples. What does that mean? That means when you're comparing, look at all those companies which have taken part. Are they similar to my industry? Okay, that's important. That means you're comparing with the similar industries. Okay. Now, having done that, what's very important here? Let's actually go to, yeah. So typically in a compensation survey, you get something called analysis like this. Whenever you get a report, you publish, you buy a report, or you are a part of a compensation study, you get a report like this. Okay. There are certain things used here. Now, say for example, we are looking at total guaranteed cash. The first and the foremost thing when you are comparing, you have to check what incorporates total guaranteed cash. What are those heads, line items? Are they similar to what I am saying total guaranteed cash? Step one. Is that very clear? because it could be total
Yes.
guaranteed cash, or sometimes it could be total remuneration. It could be total remuneration less variable bonus. So when you're reading your data, you have to be very, very clear about what does because the report will clearly say, if it says total guaranteed cash, they will write down total guaranteed cash will include base salary plus any other cash salary or any other. So it will include all that. Because when you are comparing, you have to ensure that even for your position, you are adding up all those line items. Okay. Now you will see here that there is something called very important percentile, 50th percentile. All of you, you've been having n number of years of experience, and I'm sure you've heard of percentile. When I say my company is paying 75th percentile, what does it mean? Quick. That means 74 companies are paying less than me. Got it? And 25 companies are paying more than me. Okay? Very clear? Percentile means it is not absolute figure, relative percentage. It is not percentage also out of 100. No. It is like say 75th percentile I'm paying, 75 companies are paying less than me, and 25 companies are paying more than me. Now, percentile means you have divided your data into 100 units.
Right.
Quartile means you have divided your data into how much? 4 quartiles. 25th, 50th,
4, yeah.
100. Got it?
Yeah.
Decile means 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Percentile is denoted by P. Quartile is denoted by Q. Decile is denoted by D. Very clear? Okay? Now, I'm comparing my assistant vice president. Okay? First thing, what do I need to check? I have to look at the job description of this assistant vice president in the data, in the salary survey, whether it matches with my assistant vice president job description. Okay? When you are buying data. Then once it matches, then what will I say? Hey, my assistant vice president, step 1, the job description is matching with his. Okay. Now, step 2, what is the salary of my assistant vice president? Say, for example, my assistant vice president is getting salary of, say, about 16 lakhs. Okay. Now, what will I do? I will find out at what percentile is my assistant vice president getting. So I will look for where is the data with reference to 16 lakhs. Can you see where is it? Quickly. And at what percentile it is. Can you see here? Can you see here my cursor? So that means that I am paying my vice president market 50th percentile I'm paying. Got it? But I'm saying assistant vice president, this ops guy is very, very critical for me and I'm losing people. Okay. I want to bring it to 90th percentile of the market. So I'll have to check what is the 90th percentile figure, say about 20 lakhs, 19, no? So I'll say 20 lakhs. So I have to bring in from 16 lakhs to 20 lakhs. Got it? Now, will I bring in? I'm paying only 50th percentile. How will I decide? Will I pay 90th percentile? Only if I think, hey, it's a very strategic position, so I will pay. But if I'll say assistant vice president of finance, I'm comfortable at the 50th percentile, I don't want to change the salary. Are you getting me now? Right. I will change the salary when I do a salary survey, depending on the criticality of that position. Okay? Hey guys, yes, no? So
right.
Okay. Now, I'll give another position, software engineer. Say for example, I am paying, say for example, just say it's actually 1,000. Say for example, I'm paying about 400,000. Where am I? I'm here somewhere, no? Between 50th percentile and 75th percentile. But I'm seeing that there's a huge attrition. I need to make an internal correction at this level because my attrition is very, very high. I want to bring it to 80th percentile. So what will I do? I will then change, give an increase in the salary, make market corrections, saying that bring it at 80th percentile what it is, and I will make a market correction.
Correct.
Clear, guys?
Clear.
Okay. Now quickly let me show you something very, very, very interesting. This is something you need to know when you do the calculation. Okay. Okay. Normally I do this, but today I'm short of time. So say for example, all of you are startup founders. You want to start a company and you want to recruit software developers. Okay. At an entry level. All right. So you want to pay, you first of all want to know, you want to pay because you want the best people. You want to pay, say for example, 90th percentile of the market. What? 90th percentile of the market. Tell me guys, how will you go about? Anybody? Tell me, how will you go about? Give me a clue.
So what salary will offer? The question is like that.
I gave you two inputs. I said you're all founder members. You want to start a company and you want to hire software developers. Okay, and you want to pay only one data I'm giving. You want to pay 90th percentile of the market. How will you go about? What will you do?
We'll check the market salary of the position.
Check the
Market salary of the position.
Okay, so I will just go by what you all are saying. I've checked the market. So I've taken A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K till Q. These are all companies. Taken who actually similar companies who take software developers, and I've collected market data just like the way you all have done. Market data per month. All this. Now next, what will I do? Quick.
We check the midpoint.
No.
Yeah.
Now what will you do?
Ascending or descending?
No. Now you have to do percentile. Calculate percentile.
Okay.
How will you calculate percentile? Now, where is your formula? Okay. Insert function. First of all, the data has to be done what? Let me cancel off this. Why is it showing? First of all, the data has to become percentile. In a market, you collect data. This is the data. Now you have to get it into percentile. So for making percentile, just go to, what will you do? Why is it showing directly? 1 second. Yeah, I don't want this. Cancel. Okay.
Because we have selected that cell, we have to go out of the cell.
Now it will show you. Okay. Sorry, I didn't see that. So insert function. I have to do percentile rank. Are you seeing? I have to do percentile rank. Then okay. Array. So what should I do? Click.
Range, yeah.
Okay. Now I've taken this data. Now I want to know. You go to X and see. I want to know. This is the data. If what is this? At what percentile is it? So I've put there. Click, and then I will do this. Okay. And then I'll say, okay. So what is the percentile here? 76th percentile.
76%. Yeah.
Okay. Now say for example, I will show another one. Insert function. Okay, percent rank. Okay. Array.
Range.
Array. I'm just showing this so that you all can do again when you I'll give you. Then okay. Now I'm taking this one. All right. Then say okay. What is it? How much percentile?
0.615.
So that means 61%.
61%.
So I've already done the calculation here. The highest is this one, 1, which is the 100th percentile, and the lowest is 0, which is 14,000. Now, what you wanted to do, you are starting a company and you want to pay at a 90th percentile, right? How do you calculate 90th percentile with this data? Insert function. Oh, sorry. Let's go. No. First I'll do one. Insert function. So what I do? Percentile. Okay. Now array. What was my question? What is the amount at 90th percentile? 90th can be 0.9. 0.9.
Yeah.
So how much is the amount at 90th percentile?
23,400.
3,400. Say for example, I want to pay at a 60th percentile.
Into 0.6.
0.6.
Into 0.6.
Let me see. Insert function. Then what next? Tell me.
Percentile.
Then array.
Array and into 0.6.
Array. Then
0.6.
6.
Yeah.
Then I will say okay.
100. Yeah.
So you are a company who doesn't know the salary, who doesn't have a salary because you haven't employed. So you will say I will pay 90th, means you will pay 3,400. Or if you are deciding for 60th, you will say 18,800. Say for example, your company is paying, say for example, how much right now? 21,000. Okay. But you are saying I want to pay 90th percentile. What will you do? You have calculated what is the 90th
The differential amount.
23,400. And you are paying now 21,000. So you will lose
2,400. 2,400. Yeah.
So the difference will be paid. So this is how when you get data, first of all, you will translate this data into percentiles. Got it? Translate into percentiles. So if I want to translate this data into quartiles, 25, 50, 75. I already did it for you. You know how to do it, no? When I say 25.253, 1,700, 17,000, 17,000, 50 is 18,000, 75 is 21,500. So this 4 quartiles you can do it, right? Deciles also you can do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Now, depending on after you get the data, after you have converted it into percentiles, then you have to see where you want to be. So from point A, that is your existing salary, you want to move to point B, where you want to be. Or you don't have an existing salary, but this is what you want to pay, then you calculate that. So are you very clear, guys, now?
Yes, ma'am.
So when I'm going to give some homework, this one and this one, okay, you will be able to do them, right? I've just put the data here. I will ask Wilma to send it. So what we have learned is how to do regression, how to calculate salaries through regression, and do the pay line. And then if I want to be a leader, like for example, your homework will be how to increase it by 15%, leading. If you have seen that internal equity compensation report I sent to you, which was actually done, you will have all those details which we have done there. Okay. And we have also looked at how to calculate how to do salary survey, and then how to actually calculate percentiles and quartiles, etc. All right.